What a day of baseball for the New York Yankees in the Bronx, taking both games of a doubleheader and also sweeping the Angels on the series. But it all started at 1 o'clock in a pitching matchup between Nestor Cortes and Shohei Ohtani, and you hear those names, you think low-scoring affair. Nestor Cortes, he did his job today, but Shohei Ohtani, he got hit around, and it started in the bottom of the first by Matt Carpenter, who worked an 11-pitch at-bat before hitting a solo shot to start the scoring in the game. Following him up was Gleyber Torres, who would also hit a solo home run to add to the lead to make it 2-0 after the first inning. Then again in the third, the Yankees would strike once again. This time, Aaron Judge, he would launch his own solo home run. A lot of solo home runs today. That would be a theme throughout the entire game, but Judge's in the third inning, that would make it 3-0. Then again in the fourth, Ohtani would come back out, but the Yankees bats, they would keep things going. They would get men on base, and then Marwin Gonzalez, he would hit a double to score another run. Shohei Ohtani would then exit the game. His final line, 3 innings pitched, 4 runs given up, all earned, including 3 home runs, and just striking out 2. After that, the Yankees really cemented their lead. They would get back to the sticks in the 5th inning. DJ LeMahieu, I mentioned those solo home runs. He would continue that trend, hitting his own in the bottom of the 5th. And then Miguel Andujar would capitalize with runners on base and hit a sacrifice fly to score another run and make it 6-0. After this for the Yankees, it was really an easy way to the finish line. Nestor Cortes, he would go 7 innings, allowing just 5 hits, 2 walks, striking out 7. This guy's been absolutely amazing. His last 3 starts coming into this one, he had gone 8 innings 2 times, striked out 19 batters, and only walked 1. And he continues to put on a show and prove why he's now one of the best pitchers across the entire major leagues.
It's a special start to the season. It's fun to watch him. It's fun to watch him compete. You know, he goes out with, I think a lot of conviction in his plan of attack and what he wants to do. And, he and the catcher being on the same page. I think he walks out there with a game plan in his mind. And he's got, the confidence that he can execute. And you add all that up, and you're seeing a real confident pitcher that pitches, that has a great pace to what he's doing.
Now, after Cortes came out of the game, Clarke Schmidt, he would enter. He got knocked around a little bit, couldn't get out of his own inning, allowing a run. But then Wandy Peralta came into the game to finish up the out in the 8th inning. Now, before the 9th inning would start, the rain would absolutely pour on the field. The grounds crew would pull the tarp onto the field. A terrific job by them for getting the job done, putting the tarp on the field. As you can see, the rain absolutely pouring onto the field. And it would be an hour and 28 minutes before baseball would be resumed in the Bronx. In the top of the 9th inning, Wandy Peralta would stay in the game, get the job done, and get the win for the Yankees. Once again, the Yankees win this one 6-1 over the Los Angeles Angels. But there was another game today, and Jameson Taillon pitching one of his best performances of the season, and Ryan Gregoire, he was there to cover it, and he has it all for you next.
Thanks, Mike. Game 2 was a wild one, as the Yankees went with flirting with history, securing a 2-1 win to sweep the Los Angeles Angels. And it was all Jameson Taillon in this one, who carried a perfect game into that 8th inning. It's the same Taillon who last start went 8 shutout innings versus the Rays and somehow nearly topped that performance this time out. And in this one, IKF made what looked to be the signature play we see so often in these historic moments, on a ground ball robbing Shohei Ohtani of a hit. But unfortunately for the Yankees, Jared Walsh would end the perfect game bid in the 8th inning on a base hit up the middle. And Walsh would end up scoring as the Angels went from being perfect gamed going into the 8th to having the lead with 6 outs to work with. But the run shouldn't discourage Jameson Taillon. Over his last 2 appearances, he's gone 16 innings with just 1 run given up, and perhaps the most impressive stat, 0 walks. Taillon has been fantastic with the Yankees all season long, as his ERA on the season sits at 2.49. Here's Aaron Boone after the game on Taillon's performance.
I just felt so good about how he was throwing the ball, and he didn't have a lot of stressful innings, obviously. His pitch count was in good shape. I just felt like he was in command, in control. And, so I was enjoying watching him work tonight, frankly.
As for the bats, they didn't get it going to the bottom of the eighth. As a Joey Gallo's strikeout with the bases loaded and 1 out looked like it sucked the soul out of the stadium. But it was Anthony Rizzo coming to the rescue, pinch hitting for Kyle Higashioka, and coming through with a 2-run RBI single up the middle to give the Yankees a 2-1 lead. They'd hand the ball over to Clay Holmes, who was shaky for the first time in a while, loaded the bases, a few hit-by pitches, but was able to get his command in shape as a ground ball to second base ended this for the Yankees and finished off the sweep of the Angels. The Yankees will continue their homestand tomorrow night as they take on the Tigers back in the Bronx at 7 o'clock.
With WFV Sports,
I'm Michael Calamari.
and I'm Ryan Gregler.